G'day, my name is Rod Sherwin. In this video, I'm going to take you through where and how to tap as we focus on the issue of the fear of looking foolish. Now, the EFT process, the Emotional Freedom Techniques process, does look a bit weird the first time you come across it. But it is actually a breakthrough technique, and that you're not only trying to use your thoughts to change your emotions, you're dealing with your body's energy system to shift the way you feel, and your thoughts tend to change as a result. So it's a completely different way of coming at things. So let's pick this first issue, this fear of looking foolish. So think about something you would like to do, but you're afraid of doing it. It might be going up and speaking to somebody and asking them out on a date. It might be applying for a job that's different to anything you've done before. It might be trying a new skill. It might be playing a new sport, maybe trying a different activity that you haven't done before. But think of a really specific situation where you're just so worried. What will other people think of you when you do that? What if you make a mistake, like with learning to ski, learning to snowboard? You'll fall over flat on your face. All these things, and already you might be feeling yourself tense up going, oh no, I can't bear the thought of that fear of looking foolish. So we're going to do some tapping on that. Now, a good idea is to write down the intensity of how bad that feels for that specific event. And we're just going to pick one specific event this time around. You'll be able to repeat the process for each of the events you're going to do. So one specific event, think how intense that fear gets when you think of doing that. And it's probably a 10 out of 10 or something close to it. Write that number down, and as we tap, we'll come back and check on that. Now, the first point we're going to tap on is called the karate chop point. And if you look at the bottom of your hand, so halfway between the crease in your little finger and the crease in your wrist, you want to find that middle point right on the side of your hand there. And once you find it on one hand, you want to find it on the other hand, and then tap the two together. And it doesn't matter which way you wiggle your hands, as long as you can tap those 2 points together. And then we're going to use some wording that helps us focus on the issue. And you can make the wording as simple and complex as you like, but I'm aiming to hit as many different aspects of this issue on the way through as we can. So tapping on these points, I'll get you to repeat after me. Even though I fear looking foolish in this situation, I acknowledge the way I feel. Even though I fear looking foolish in this situation, I accept the way I feel. Even though I fear looking foolish trying this new thing, I choose to accept myself anyway. And we call that the setup phrase. So it tends to be a whole phrase of focusing on what the issue is and saying acknowledging how you feel, what the emotion is for you anyway. Then we go on with a reminder phrase as we go through the rest of the points. So coming up to the top of the head and alternating left, right, left, right, left, right. You may have to do this quite slowly to start with, just to get the use of left, right, but it's very good for the brain, very good for the coordination. And then using a reminder phrase, I'll get you to repeat after me again. So this fear of looking foolish in this situation. And then come down to the inside of the eyebrows. So right on the start of the eyebrows and at least 2 fingers, tapping on those points. And again, left, right, left, right, left, right. And you might find one of the points around the eyes where you get a bit wobbly, but just persist with it. It's well worth it. So repeating again, this fear of looking foolish. My fear of looking foolish in this situation. Now run your fingers around the eyebrows to the side of the eyes, just to the crease of the eyes. Not back up on here on the temples, but not poking yourself in the eye. And again, at least 2 fingers. And left, right, left, right, left, right. My fear of looking foolish. My fear of looking foolish in this situation. And then come around under the eyes, so just on the bottom of the eye socket. Tapping again, left, right, left, right, left, right. Doesn't matter which one you start with, just do both sides. And repeating after me, this fear of looking foolish. I don't want to try that activity, and just in case I look foolish. Come down now to the middle of the top lip, and we want to use just one hand for this because the point is right in the middle. So this fear of looking foolish. And then come down to the crease in your chin, so again right in the middle, but in that crease in your chin. This fear of looking foolish. This thing I'm afraid to do in case I look foolish. And the next 2 points are the trickiest ones to find. You put your finger on that V in the middle of your throat. Just on either side of that, you've got the lumpy bits, where it's the insides of your collarbones. And you just want to drop down just below those. There's a dent just below them, but not all the way down your chest. and not above your collarbones, just below the collarbones there. You'll usually find a dent. And again, left, right, left, right, left, right. And focusing again on that situation you want to work on. So my fear of looking foolish in that situation. My fear of looking foolish in that situation. And the next 2 points we're going to use are under the arms, and one of the ones where we look like a monkey, and the kids love doing this. So it's on the side of the body, right where the seam of the shirt would be, and it's right around the side. You can do it this way or this way, whichever's easier for you to reach. And it's about the middle of the bra strap, or about the same height as the nipples for men, but right around the side. And it can be somewhat awkward to get to. So my fear of looking foolish. My fear of looking foolish in that situation. And the last one we're going to do, if you put your palms out up and cross one wrist over the other, and you want to be tapping in about the gap between where a watch and the crease of your wrist would be, so right up the top there. And you want to overlap those two and tapping them together. So this fear of looking foolish, this thing that I don't want to do because I'm so afraid of looking foolish. So congratulations, you've done your first round of EFT. That's as complicated as the tapping gets, and what we showed you is the EFT shortcut method. You'll find another video for the full EFT basic recipe, which you'll use if you're not getting results with the shortcut method. It's there if you need it, but 99% of the time I use the shortcut method. And always remember that you can continue on for another round to continue to reduce the intensity down further. So if you think about that issue now, that you're worried about fear of looking foolish, it may have dropped from an 8 to a 6. It may have gone up, but stay calm, you haven't done anything wrong. You've just got more tuned into the issue. So always remember you can continue on and do more rounds. I usually do 3 or 4 before I stop and check back in. So you don't always have to repeat the setup. When you do another round, that one we did on the karate chop point, you can just continue back on up from the top of the head. So I'll get you to repeat after me. My remaining fear of looking foolish in that situation. Come down the eyebrows again. My remaining fear of looking foolish in that situation. And if you find yourself taking a deep breath or a sigh, that's a good sign. It's a sign of energy shifting. Come around to the side of the eyes. My remaining fear of looking foolish in that situation. Come around under the eyes. My remaining fear of looking foolish in that situation. Top lip. My remaining fear of looking foolish in that situation. Chin point. My remaining fear of looking foolish in that situation. Collarbones again, nice and high up underneath those collarbones. My remaining fear of looking foolish in that situation. Under the arms, my remaining fear of looking foolish in that situation. Inside of the wrists, my remaining fear in looking foolish in that situation. So remember, you can continue doing more rounds until you reduce that intensity all the way down to 0.